Alright, so we're back with video number 2, and this time we're going with mages. And mages are crazy right now. They have so many starts they can do. They're not like hunters who only had like 3 good ones, right? Like mages have a plethora of starts, right? And it all depends to which mage you're playing and what type. Mages are crazy right now. It's great. I love it. So we're gonna start with mid lane because that's where mages 9 times out of 10 go. Despite although they are now going in like the jungle and solo and support, and it's great and I love it. I love mage diversity. Yes, high res. So we're gonna start with mid builds, right? And almost 9 times out of 10 you will be getting mage's blessing in the mid lane. There are 2 starts down here. Like I said, I couldn't fit them all together. I don't know if I said that or not, but it's really hard. There's 2 starts down here, Book of Thoth and Sorcerer's Staff. These are like, you don't get, obviously you don't get Mage's Blessing with them, right? You're going to rush the stacking items, so that way you can get it stacked, right? And before Book of Thoth was good, now Book of Thoth is busted because it gives you 5% magical power when it's completed, and it's busted. Trust me, right? And Warlock Staff or Sorcerer's Staff. I think this item's really meh. I don't think it's that good. I don't think you should rush this. I think your best bet is Mage's Blessing, Uncommon Staff, and then Potions, right? But anyways, so Mage's Blessing, any of these 3, this, or Boots. I think that's all of it. You could go Magic Focus if you really wanted to, but the issue with Magic Focus is you're gonna be losing sustain with it, right? Did I say this? Because you shouldn't go this mid lane. Not first item. This doesn't help you that much in the early game. Basically, any of these 4 are Boots, right? From there, and it really just comes down to what god you're playing. If you're playing an immobile god, you can go Boots, or Uncommon Staff. If you're playing a god that like chugs mana, Lost Artifact, or Spellbook, right? Because Spellbook goes into Book of Thoth, and that gives you just a stupid amount of mana, right? It literally, where is it? Where's upgrade Book of Thoth? Yeah, see, 1,000 mana. What the fuck? And then if you're playing a god that auto attacks a lot, like Soul, you should go Hunter's Blessing, but we'll get to that. You can get Tiny Trinket to lifesteal off, because the lifesteal does add up. That 3 lifesteal in auto does add up. I don't know, it's so much to explain and I'm trying to keep it short and simple, but basically you'll get this item, you'll back, finish Boots, get all the gold for it, back, get like the tier 2 of it, go back out, get the rest of the gold, finish the item, and then carry on with your build, if that makes sense. You could rush any of these, but that leaves you without any mobility, and you're a mage, and you're really squishy, so you need your mobility. Jungles. Mage, okay, I can't speak, it's like midnight, leave me alone. So, in the jungle, always get Assassin's Blessing, why wouldn't you? And then any of these works, yeah, any of these work. Any 6 of these items, perfect for it. They all give you relatively the same amount of magical power, all 20 or 15, and then magic focus is 25. Any of them really work. Basically mages in the jungle are built the same as mages in mid. They're just bursty, and maybe you'll get protections on them. It really comes down to what you want. Mages in support, however, they will only go shoes, boots, or glowing emerald. I can't think of any other reason why you would go any of these. Maybe for Rod of Asclepius if you're like Baron or Hell, maybe. But then you lose out on you lose out on some sustain for doing this with your mana and stuff like that. So personally, I like shoes or glowing emerald. It comes down to personal preference. Although not all mages can be played in support, right? Like we're looking at like Isis, Zonqui, Hell, Aphrodite, Baron Samedi. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's more. I can't think of any more. Chang'e cannot support. As much as I love playing that bitch, you cannot support with her. No. She's a fight. She's like a battle mage. She doesn't support. Spider being a healer. I think that's all the mages that can support. Yeah, I want to say that's it, right? And then for game modes that aren't Conquest, and this is out of order by the way, I messed up. You have Attacker's Blessing. You could also go Specialist Blessing if you're like a healer, but only if you're a healer. I don't think Specialist Blessing is that good on like gods that can't heal, just because it's harder to proc, right? But Attacker's Blessing, and then any of these like 7 things, personal preference. And then potion wise, you're always gonna want healing and mana potions because you're not like hunters, right? Like these really don't help you like with mana sustain. They do, but they don't at the same time because you're not like a hunter to where you're also relying on your auto attacks. You're relying on your abilities only, and abilities cost a lot of mana, right? When you spam them a lot. So you do want mana potions. Also, Baron's Brew, great. I forgot to include it on this. Don't judge me, but Baron's Brew is great, right? Because it's only one, right? Yeah. What is it? It's 625 times, and it's 6 a second, I believe, right? So it's 1 mana less. It's great. And it gives you more healing than going like a healing potion and then like a multi-pot, right? It's good. But if you don't have enough gold for Baron's Brew at the beginning of the game, and you want to stick to a certain way, you can always back and get Baron's Brew another time. Like, it's always going to be there throughout the game, right? Next, we have solo builds. So you have Warrior's Blessing. But now you don't need Warrior's Blessing after the nerf. You can get away without it, right? So you can go Mage's Blessing in solo. Solo's not as picky as it once was when this item was broken. And then you have shoes. You'll almost always be going shoes just because I'll explain later when I get to the next 2 items, but shoes allows you to know who you're facing before you actually get to see them, or know who you're facing just so that way you don't end up like building Imperial Helmet, right? And you have physical protections, and then it turns out it's Achilles support and then Cerberus solo, and you're like, well, now I have physical protections, which isn't the end of the world because everything else is physical besides Cerberus, so like minions, towers, stuff like that. So, but still, nonetheless, you should mostly go boots. It's just a safe bet, helps you clear once you get them upgraded. They're cheap. Mobility, like I said earlier, mobility is key on mages. I almost said warriors. I'm really tired. And then Druid Stone, either of these really you could go. They do the same thing, just 20 protections in the other one, right? If you're not a healer, I'd recommend Jade Emperor's Crown, or even Dynasty Plate Home, or Celestial Legion Home will make you extremely tanky. Like, that item is so obnoxious, I'll be completely honest. But if you are a healer, Lotus Crown's good. Honestly, any of these items is good on you. Druid Stone, if you have a lot of CC, like your Isis or Nox, Stone of Binding is good, but honestly, Void Stone's the best one for you. It's so much, it gives you a good amount of protection, some power, penetration, which you won't be having a lot of, and health. Like, how could you not? And then finally, if you're in the Hunter role, the ADC role, right, and you're going for an auto attack based god, this is looking at like Freya, kinda, although new Freya is more of like a burst mage, Soul, Chronos, that's it. There are no more, it's only Soul and Chronos pretty much now. So you'll be going this, and then one of these 3 items or boots. Personal preference again, whatever you want. If you like lifesteal like I do on Soul, Tiny Trinket. If you're going to be building a Warlock staff to help with your ult with Chronos, then Uncommon staff, like, it comes down to whatever you want. I think that's it. That's all that I want to cover, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!